Wells Medicine is a public, not-for-profit health system that is comprised of an 800-bed academic medical center, a children's hospital, and multiple community hospitals, and generates more than $2 billion annually. The medical center, along with its radiology department, is ranked among the top hospitals and radiology programs in the United States. About 1 year ago, the Imaging Customer Service Center stood up to serve as a single point of contact for radiology imaging for patients and physicians, both internal and external to the health system. It is important to note that the image readings for external customers generate substantial revenues for the hospital system. Growth in these outside readings have more than doubled in the first year of ICSC operation. The ICSC was prematurely opened, which has contributed to multiple operational, personnel, and technical challenges. These are some of the key personnel involved in the Wells Medicine Radiology Department and Imaging Customer Service Center. Ms. Johnston was recently promoted to be the Administrator of Operations, a position that has been vacant for the past 6 months. Mr. Walker, the Department Administrator, has given Ms. Johnston 60 days to address these challenges. If she does not successfully shape up the ICSC, it will be reorganized to fall under the responsibility of Mr. Hammond, the IT Director.
The Image Customer Service Center faces several challenges. First, it lacks published policies and procedures. Current operations violate HIPAA regulations. The staff lack training. The majority of staff's customer service is not in line with the hospital's mission and vision. 2 supervisors have withdrawn from their responsibilities. Staffing is not in line with requirements for both the day and night shifts. Lack of communication and support from the IT department is hindering staff efficiency. To address the glaring lack of leadership, Ms. Pilcher will counsel and remove the night and day supervisors and promote the best qualified ICSC employees. Working in conjunction with Ms. Pilchner, the new supervisors will correct the process and workflow issues to prevent HIPAA violations. Implementation of a training program will be used to identify deficiencies and improve efficiency in customer service. If Ms. Pilchner is unable to correct IT issues with Mr. Hammond, then Ms. Johnson will need to champion the issue. The underlying cause of all the issues is a lack of leadership and supervision. Everything observed by Ms. Pilcher can be directly linked back to a lack of engaged leadership and supervision. Effective supervision and leadership would have identified and overcome the lack of policies and procedures, HIPAA violations, mismatched training to the mission, substandard customer service, social loafing, staffing misalignment, and the IT department's lack of support.
Ms. Pilcher will need to employ human resource strategies to meet the 60-day turnaround target and has identified several key issues, including lack of supervision, poorly designed processes, and overstaffing. As interim manager, Ms. Pilcher is in a position of leadership, giving her authority to make changes in the organization. She has identified both shift supervisors who have no apparent desire to supervise. Mr. Thompson has stated he does not like managing people, and Ms. Boyd does not process orders nor manage people. It's clear that these two can no longer serve as supervisors. Ms. Pilcher will need some help from her HR specialist to determine what options she has before making formal changes in her supervisory staff. It may be possible to reassign them to non-supervisory positions within the ICSC, or they may be reassigned elsewhere within the hospital. Ms. Pilcher should then focus her efforts on employee training and the development of procedural policies aimed at logging, tracking, and processing of order requests. Additional training measures should address customer service training, first impression management, and team building. The Customer Service Center faces daunting human resources and management challenges. HIPAA compliance is the greatest issue that management faces and should be fixed immediately to avoid damaging data loss and privacy violations. These HIPAA violations carry civil and criminal penalties of up to $1.5 million annually and imprisonment. Other human resources and management issues include the need to review job descriptions, performance management and appraisal, and workstation capabilities and ergonomics. In addition, the staff is generally unaware of their responsibilities and is unable to perform their required tasks due to inadequate job descriptions and lack of training. The original layout and procedural plan of the center was to enable cross-trained employees the ability to work at any cross-functional station. That didn't happen, and as a result, there has been inefficient workflow. Management should strengthen relations with the IT department to address workstation standardization and capabilities issues. Finally, staff should undergo training for employee and customer relations, equal opportunity, HIPAA compliance, workflow management, and order processing. The absence of policies and procedures and workstation capabilities create frustration, exacerbating an already volatile workplace.
Ms. Pilcher, Ms. Johnston, and the new shift supervisors should work together to address the challenges by developing a plan to get the ICSC fully functional within 60 days. They should address the lack of training in HIPAA, customer service, and perform sensitivity training to address the generational gap. Ms. Johnston should also meet with Mr. Walker to discuss the conflict of interest with Mr. Hammond and his IT section. Mr. Walker will need to convince Mr. Hammond to play nicely to address the many IT issues in the ICSC. Lastly, the ICSC team should address their workflow challenges and work with the Resource Management Department to allocate funds. The bottom line is that Ms. Pilcher has her work cut out for her. If she wants to secure her job at the ICSC, she'll need to build her relationships both inside and outside of the ICSC and work an aggressive timeline. She'll need to leverage human resources and training resources with support from not only Ms. Johnston and Mr. Walker, but from Mr. Hammond and her own staff as well. It can be done within 60 days, but it'll take a giant team effort to turn things around.